She's not a Bollywood kid, but she entered showbiz with an entourage of hits. Born to a prominent industrial family, academically brilliant, I wanted to meet this young star. I also wanted to meet her real producer, her mother, Asha. So join me in a rendezvous with Amisha Patel. Hi Amisha, I'm so happy to meet you.
Pleasure to be here.
Here you are, a graduate in biogenetic engineering, a gold medalist in economics from Tufts University, Boston. I mean, we're delighted to have you here, but shouldn't you be in some major financial institution or working in life sciences or something with your qualifications?
Well, I was. I came back from the United States after I graduated and I did join my dad. But every time I went to the office, it was always daddy's little girl, you know. So I got fed up and I quit. And then I joined a family friend again at Garewal Securities. It's a finance company.
Okay, that's the right thing.
Yeah, and I did well, but I realized that it was a job I was using just my head and not my heart.
And I'm sure if you were in the stock exchange or working on genomes or stem cells, people would have said to you, "Hey, Amisha, shouldn't you be in the movies?"
They did. When I was studying, they were like, "Don't you think you deserve to be on the cover of magazines?" I mean, so I think it's, you know, grass is always greener on the other side.
But you've always been academically inclined, haven't you?
That's right. I've always been an honor student, even in my career here when I went to cathedral school.
A student, always.
A student, always.
You must have been the envy of a lot of girls.
Yes, I was.
It
creates for a lot of resentment.
It creates a lot of resentment, you know, a smart girl. And they say, why should it be so easy for her?
And worse than that was that a lot of the times, my friends, they would be in love with a certain boy or had a crush, and if for some reason, academic or otherwise, that boy would be giving me attention, oh my God, I would come home in tears because they would make my life hell.
Really?
Yeah. Much hasn't changed after that in the film industry either.
I am sure. You are the granddaughter of the well-known barrister politician Rajni Patel. You come from a very prominent Gujarati industrial family. When you told them about your choice and your decision to act in cinema, they must have been disappointed.
They were disheartened, and it was war.
It was war, wasn't it?
It was war. And there was ranting and raving and bickering and
from both mom and dad.
Both mom and dad.
Constant battles at home.
Till the last moment, even when I was actually going to be shooting, they were like, "Amisha, do you think you've made the right decision? You're throwing away an entire education. You are entering an arena where we can be there as pillars of strength, but nothing more, you know, because we are an industrial home and there's only so much guidance that we can give you.
Yeah.
And do you realize that you're making life harder for yourself?"
That's right.
And I said, that's exactly why I'm doing it.
So then tell me, how did that first break come about?
The break was, of course, from Mr. Rakesh Roshan. We were at a common friend's wedding function, and I was pulled into the barat and I was dancing and everything. And Rakesh uncle and my dad had been in school together. So he turned around and said, "You know, Amit, your daughter is very talented, I can see it, and I think she's very pretty, and I'm going to launch her with my son Ritik." And my dad was like, "No way, Rakesh, she's going to America to study and she's going to pursue something academic when she comes back, or join me. Why should she join the film industry?" 6 years passed. I came back from the United States and we met at a wedding, and I was entering and Rakesh uncle was leaving. 2 days later I got a phone call and Rakesh uncle said, "Why don't you come for lunch?" And I went like Amisha, the little girl in my jeans t-shirt, and he gave me the contract and he said, "Would you be in my film?" And I just looked at him. He said, "As the heroine." And it was like the floor beneath my feet had just vanished, you know. And I called my dad at the office and I said, "Dad, I'm doing a film." He almost fell off his chair. And then I said, "It's with Rakesh uncle." And he was like, "Just that one film, Amisha." I was like, "Yeah, Dad, it's just this one film," knowing full well it doesn't end there. So,
did you know Ritik Dugu before that?
I knew him, but he was a very, very, you know, close sort of person. He was an introvert. But we went through teething problems, insecurities, everything together, and I think that's a special bond between us that nobody can take over.
But could you tell at that time that he would turn out to be the icon of the millennium?
Oh, I called him superstar from the first schedule. I was like, superstar, superstar. And my dad used to tease him and call him Pierce Brosnan. And
how did he take it?
Unconvincingly, because I guess that fear was always there. You know, for me, I always knew that, look, if I don't make it here, I have a backup.
Something to fall back on.
Yeah, but for him, it was a make or break situation. And he really made it.
He certainly did. But also for you, it was a great break, wasn't it?
Yes.
Why did you ever say that you got a raw deal?
I actually never did that. It was misconstrued by the media when people came to me and said, Hrithik is a bigger star than you.
Yeah.
I said yes, because he was and is.
But there's no competition between a hero and heroine.
But the media needed something because it was too picture perfect for them.
So are you saying that all these remarks that were attributed to you are all false?
It takes just that one person to misquote you, and it sets off an entire wave of being misquoted. Nothing but that.
People say that it used to be a lot of fun, very bindas. What have you encountered here that changed you? What was the unexpected?
I came in with these notions of great creativity and this completely charged atmosphere of creation and passion, and slowly I came to realize that the film industry, at the end of the day, is a business. Like any other business, politics exists.
Is there a lot of manipulation today?
Oh, a lot.
Like how?
Well, there are certain cliques, you know, that know a certain set of journalists or directors, producers, and they sort of build a wall. And once there is that lobby, it's very difficult to break through that wall. I think one of the main things that we face today is not belonging to a film industry. You know,
not belonging to a film family.
I've entered in a period where 9 out of 10 of the people are star children.
Very true.
So it does get hard, and they know that, you know, how to climb the tree.
And to them, everybody is uncle so-and-so and auntie so-and-so. And to you, they're strangers.
Yes, it can be demoralizing for people who don't even have the backing that I had. I have a last name that's as big, but in the political arena, you know, in the business arena. So it is hard for newcomers, for sure.
Do you ever feel all that education you had was a waste?
Well, my biogenetics has been wasted.
Totally.
Totally. But economics, I think, helps you anyway in your daily life.
So a little bit of a waste.
Yes, academically, yes. But I'm very proud and glad to be an educated girl.
You've worked with all these gorgeous leading men. How come there have been no reliable stories of any relationship or link-up or scandal?
I don't know how to explain that, but I've never been in awe of any of them. For me, it's a 9-to-5 job, and I treat them as I would any other colleague in an office. And therefore, there's no spark in my head that what if I could have been with so.
You're not attracted to any of them?
None of them. I mean, it's really sad, no offense to anybody, but none of them.
You don't meet them off sets?
At all. Other than maybe Hrithik and Suzanne, who have been family friends. I meet nobody work associated off sets. Nobody. None of my co-stars.
Who'd you vibe with?
Sunny and I had a great, because we worked through such a tough film. I get along very well with Hrithik, Bobby, Akshay Khanna.
What about Akshay? He's very soulful.
Akshay is almost like my soulmate. I see a lot of myself in Akshay. One, the fact that we lived at the same part of town. We had common school friends. And he's very intelligent. He's very intense. Completely different kind of breeding. You know, I can say all the heroes on one side and Akshay Khanna on the other, because he is so not filmy. And yet, he's one of the finest actors.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, he's super. He's absolutely super at his job.
I believe you're a real romantic. I mean, a story.
One of my faults.
Hearts and flowers.
Yes.
It all works.
I love, my favorite shape is the heart, and I love cupids, love little angels. And by nature, I'm a child woman, and I think that itself, you know, breeds the romance, because you have womanly fantasies, but a childlike belief that they'll come true. You know,
Tell me a romantic fantasy.
it's like, for me, I love the sound of piles, and I always have them on. And though everybody in the house is always irritated that, Didi, my brother's screaming, Didi, those damn piles of yours, can you get them off? They're haunting. But I like that haunting feeling, you know. I like the sound of the rain. I like the smell of the earth. I love the feeling of wind blowing on your face.
You have been in love.
Oh, of course I've been in love, for whatever at that stage of your life you think is love. And then, of course, you grow up and you think, no, 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 that was not love.
Yeah.
But at that point, that is love.
Yeah.
I have, of course I have.
But you were involved, seriously involved with somebody for almost 5 years.
That's right.
He also came from an industrial
A
family.
family, and also went to college with me in America.
Lovely.
And very well brought up, cultured boy. But life has different things in store for you, and I wanted to be part of cinema.
His family didn't want that.
Didn't want that, him in particular. And
What did he say?
he said, no, I won't be able to accept it. And we tried to, you know, work it out, but it didn't happen.
I wouldn't be able to accept your being a film
Yeah.
actress.
I wouldn't accept your profession.
Then what did you say?
I said, well, I need an identity of my own. And as much as I love you and would feel the loss if you were not my life, I feel that I would constantly, if I were with you for the rest of my life, I would be pointing a finger at you and saying, you never let me live my dreams. And it would fall into shambles anyway. The relationship wouldn't last. So let me pursue my dreams. Let me break out of this beautiful cage and learn to fly for myself.
How did he take it?
It was heartbreaking for both of us.
Was it for you too?
Of course it is.
So you gave him up for films, for your career?
I have given up almost everything for my career.
So at what stage did you give him up?
Well, we had been talking about it when I made the decision that I wanted to be part of the industry. And we were still sort of holding on, you know, for the 2 years that actually happened.
Yeah.
And the week Kahona Pyar Hai happened was the week, actually, that we called things off.
So for you, the die was cast. Mrs. Patel, can I call you Asha?
Yeah, definitely, only Asha.
It's lovely to have you here.
Thank you so much.
You know, you have set a precedent of sorts, because one knows of stars' kids joining the film industry. But this is the first star parent.
Yeah.
Isn't that so?
That's right.
How did it happen?
Just, I was on the sets of Kahona Pyar Hai, and Rakesh asked me to do a little role as Ritik's mother. And again...
No. Let me just clarify this. He wanted a really good-looking mother who was really young and resembled Ritik's features. And if you see Ritik, he has delicate features like Mom as well.
Well, I didn't look good-looking there.
Were you hesitant about doing it?
I was.
But we forced her.
They all forced me to do it, so...
So how was the first shot?
Very nerving. I was very nervous. So and in the end, Rakesh had to tell everybody, go out, because I kept saying Amit instead of Ritik. I mean, Rohit.
What was the line?
I had to say that he's not at home, and instead of saying Rohit's not at home, I said Amit's not at home. He said, it's not Amit, it's not your husband, it's Rohit.
Why were you thinking of your husband?
I don't know. It was
She's always thinking of her husband.
But it's interesting. You had earlier on opposed your daughter's joining films.
Yes, I had. But I was like little less, you know, against her than my husband. Because I was the one who used to take her for dance classes and dramas and things like that. And I had told my husband before she left that I think this is in her blood.
Yeah.
And she's going to come back and tell you, look, I want to do this. He said, you got this Sindhi brains in you and this, that. And you don't understand, she's so brilliant. And he thought I was a mad woman telling him this.
But now he must be also very pleased with the way
yes, both.
But tell me, Asha, what were your qualms?
Well, actually, because she was so educated, I felt, you know, there's nobody in our family. We are just running the business, just my husband. So I thought it would be nice for the children to be involved in it instead of going outside. And since I haven't got a business head in spite of being a Sindhi, I thought my children would do it. You know? But
and also their only little daughter going into the big bad world of Indian
Yeah,
cinema. You can
that's
be
true,
honest, Mama.
That's true. Yeah, that was also the main reason. And then I was getting good proposals for her.
It was like, after this, no one will marry you.
But tell me something, your friends must be very envious of you. What did they feel about seeing you in the movies?
They had a shock because I hadn't told anybody. I didn't tell a soul I was in the film. When they suddenly saw me there, because I was all with grey streaks and things like that, so they were not sure whether that's really me. You know?
No, they were wondering because we went for the first day of Kahona together, first day, first show, all of us, all of Mama's
screening.
friends.
Yeah.
Not the screening, 2
theatre.
heroes to the
Yeah.
theatre with the public because we wanted to see the reaction of the crowd. And suddenly every time Mama would come on screen, my dad and my brother had bought these whistles. You know, like
everybody,
complete
and they
local-
were whistling
and
when
they
I
were
was on
whistling away.
screen.
And they're wondering, who's whistling at her? Why not the heroine? Why not their daughter? Why not their sister? Why is
This old woman.
you know, and then suddenly at the end when they realized, oh no, that was his wife. No wonder he was going crazy. You know, then they understood.
Oh, that is so cute.
Very, it was a wonderful way to like start off the film.
But what did your husband feel, considering he was so opposed to her joining
He
the
was
film?
the coolest. No.
Yeah, and the thing is that he was against me, even doing an ad and all. When I was just married to him, I had a lot of offers. Even when she grew up and they used to tell me, be her mother in the ad or something, he would not allow me. And now after 32 years, he feels it's okay, where will she go, kind of thing.
Safe now.
Yeah. Little does he know that Mom has more admirers than even I do.
So, but will you be doing more?
I don't think so.
I think so.
I think so.
I'm really not.
I think so because
because
we keep teasing Mom that, you know, your daughter is busy and you should just become like a trademark. Everywhere that she needs a mother, you must play her mother.
Should be a package deal.
Yeah, you know.
They tell me that, but I doubt.
But I believe now your brother's joining films. Your son is coming into
Yeah,
the movies
that's
as well.
right.
Yes, he intends to.
And I think your father will also. Your
No,
father
I
will.
don't think so. My father has no time.
I think the Patels should strike back. If you can't be born in a film family, you make one.
And actually, he's very good. That's where they've inherited all this from. Because when he was in college, he used to perform and he used to act with Shafi Imandar
See?
and Kader Khan and all these.
It's going to happen.
Well, he'll do a
Instead
fine
of me,
job,
yeah,
I'm sure.
he'll do a fine job.
Tell me, has Amisha changed?
Not at all. We tell her on the contrary, when you're home, you're the same Amisha Patel that you were before.
Don't be starry at home.
Not,
No,
she's
they're
not basically,
Very
but
strict as well.
Like
And-
how?
I mean, even something like if I need 500 rupees, I'm still always short of money because I'm a spendthrift. And they're strict with my accounts and I'm like borrowing money from the driver.
Don't you keep your own earnings?
My father has invested them for me in my name so that my earnings earn more. Because if I were to do anything with it, it'd be squandered like that. So, you know, my father says as long as you're in my house, it's my daughter,
yeah, we
I
still
will pay
maintain.
everything, including your petrol bill.
Everything is paid for by us.
I'm not denied anything, but I'm not spoiled either. You know, I have to be deserving of everything that I get.
She's answerable to everything she spends. Like she gives me an account, and plus I give her what she wants to spend. She doesn't maintain us, we maintain her. So there's a lot of difference in that, because she knows that I don't require her for anything, neither does my husband. And I think in the long run, it's money that talks, you know, whatever. The change comes with money and the fame. And my husband's had it all before. As you know, he was Rajni Patel's son. And I don't think we were short of anything.
No, but this kind of a success is different. I mean, with due respect, there's a difference between being a successful person in business and being successful in the movies. There's a big difference.
Oh yeah, I
That
completely.
personal glory of...
Yeah,
That's true.
very true.
Have people changed towards her?
Yes. Let me answer that because I find that suddenly I have relatives that I didn't have before. Suddenly everybody who ever knew you, even distinctly, you know, like
Remembers you from
remember
school.
Yeah,
and
that's
says, we knew her and she's my bum chum, and you have these best friends cropping up from everywhere.
And relatives. Which
Yes, and of course.
Do hits and flops get to Amisha?
Yes, I think the last one did.
Yeah, I felt bad because I had expected a lot out of the film.
This is from Aap Mujhe Achhi
Yeah,
Lagni Lagi.
and more than that, it had a lot of emotional attachment, Hrithik and me back together again, and I know it was a beautiful film. And then it fails, it hurts.
We explained to her that this is a part of every business, not only the film industry. Even my husband's gone through ups and downs in life.
Do you advise her?
I don't really advise her because only maybe on her boyfriend front sometimes I've had to.
Which boyfriend?
But she's had lots of friends who've been her boyfriends.
And you don't always approve?
No, not always, never.
And I have this affinity to choose people that are just completely wrong for me.
Oh, no.
That one friend which she had, like she mentioned.
For 5 years?
Yeah. I mean, he was a gem and we approved immediately.
So the other ones haven't been...
Up to marks.
Oh dear, they have
Even
to...
though maybe they've been much better off, or, you know, the only sons with everything that a mother would like, but...
So what do you do about it?
Nothing, I just tell her.
Eventually I listen.
You do eventually.
Eventually I
After
listen.
a while.
Are you worried about her finding the right guy now?
It is a concern because, like every mother, the best thing in life that happens to you is when your daughter is well settled and finds the right person.
And as you said, she had had so many proposals right from the age of 17 onwards.
Yeah.
Do you fear that those families are now out of the running?
Obviously, because those people are already, you know, must have...
But I don't care. I don't care because I think it's up to one's own individuality to find and strike that balance. I mean, I'm not a young girl anymore. And whether I dig my grave or it's my funeral or it's the happiest life I have to see, it's a decision that I will actively be taking on my own.
Yeah.
You know, and I would hope that whatever decision is that I take, you know, I'd have the blessings and support of my parents. But I'm stubborn enough that if I was convinced about something
Or someone.
or someone,
She'd
I'd do it anyway.
Are you here for the long term, Amisha?
I, at this point, would certainly hope to think so. But ultimately, I think that decision rests upon my audiences, how much they're willing to accept me and for how long.
I asked one of your directors this. I asked Vikram, I said, is she here for the long term? He said, Amisha can be here for as long as she wants.
Wow.
I thought that was a nice thing to say. It's been lovely to talk to both of you. Thank you so much for coming.
It's been a pleasure having you.
Thank you for this rendezvous.
Thank you so much.